Scales, a very important part of our playing. Okay, you always you hear about scales. You know, when people are studying piano, do I have to do scales? And scales can be a very important part, and you have to look at them. And I'll always remind you in our lessons here that scales are going to really help you out when you want to get around the piano quickly. It's given me the control, even if I'm playing a single melody note. Up to things fast. Even the single notes will have more sensitivity and control built upon because I've worked on scales. I had done a certain element of playing and remaining, trying to play lines, and what the scales will do is work on have you play a series of notes and maintain equal smooth continuity between on your lines when you're moving up the piano. So when you're playing something, you know, at higher levels, you're going to have the flexibility and dexterity that's been developed to be able to fly around the piano and be able to play. So whether you're playing just a simple little melody, you will start seeing benefits from the scale, technically speaking, because your fingers are going to start becoming more tuned into the piano and much able to play series of notes, whether it be a simple melody or advanced or something more moving, smoothly and articulate, you know, with some articulation and control of the ideas. So we're looking at right now white keys, B flat, E flat, and A flat with our hold notes, which is a nice way, left hand hold notes. Right hand is our main focus here with these scales, okay? And just going up and down one octave, very, very important not to dive in too deep here and get in a hurry to do your left hand, because what this left hand is doing by playing the step 2 where you're playing what I refer to counterpoint, where you play a different left hand scale note against the scale while it's running up and down, is so valuable. You have no idea. I mean, you would think, well, I want to play the scale in the left hand. I want to sit down. You know what's happening by you sitting down and playing. Different left hand notes. I mean, that's more important, jumping all around. Jumping all around with your left hand, playing all notes against your right hand scale. Talk about a valuable experience, scale speaking. And this is something that I never worked on it this way. This is from years and years of developmental teaching that I found musical ways to find out what is the value of a scale. Okay, what is the value? Okay, technique. Okay, which is a very important value. To know the notes in the scale, you'll find that most people, when they learn traditional piano studies with scales, will go up and down octaves, you know, the traditional, and it becomes very machine-like. And a lot of times I have people that come on at real high levels that maybe we even went through music school and say, well, you know, quickly, what's the note, the sixth of B flat, you know, and they can play the scales in their sleep, but they might be like, oh, the G, they have to think twice about it. But this way, as a beginning scale study student, you are learning the different parts of the scale very clearly in your vision. So it's hard to do. We get a lot of information on this page, so I really want you to go easy and respect it. I want you to do all keys. Get comfortable with the standard hold note pattern right now. Let's take a look at the A flat scale. Remember, the thumb's always pivoting on B or C or E or F on the black key scales, the ones without the black notes in it, okay? The E flat scale. Then we have, okay, and we have the B flat scale. I recommend going through these whole notes, keeping them all into one hand, so you go low, and then high, back down, and back up. You know, so you're keeping it under one hand shape, so it all feels the same. Once you're comfortable there, go right on to this other step 2 where you're putting random notes, and you don't have to just go up and down twice. You can do it as much as you want using different notes in the left hand to really get those notes clear. And you'll hear clearly if a note is wrong, it sticks out. Let's try B flat. Let's try A flat. It's a new one. Okay. watch. Whoa. So you see that's a wrong note here. So you want to be very careful. And the F. So you can jump around. A lot of times if you hit notes that are really out of context here, then they'll stick right out. That's wrong. Here the E sounds clashy, so when the note will fit. Okay, you get the idea? This is an incredible opportunity to become acquainted with scales, really see the value. It's a fundamental aspect of our studies, still presented in kind of a musical way. This is pretty musical. If you think about it, you're playing scales around. We're going to later on be playing on all kinds of wild, pretty things that are going to be taking place here. So be prepared. There's a lot to be looking for within the scale foundation. Chords, improvisation, all kinds of goodies coming.